Oh shit! Well, hey guys, welcome once again.
Three Dudes of Horror. I'm Toots.
Well, we're live already.
Yeah, we've been live for a while now. I'm just joking. We haven't been here for a while, so it's been like what, 2-3 weeks?
About 3 weeks.
Oh, by the way, I'm Wormboy. I forgot to say that, but yeah.
Oh, Damien, we're finally back.
Yeah. The week after our last podcast, Wormboy got sick, probably because he saw that shit movie House of the Dead. That's probably what got him sick.
Yeah, I think that's what got me sick, because after I saw it, like, I had nightmares, but the ones
that are coming out of your ass, it's called diarrhea.
Yeah, pretty much. It was shit all over and blood and shit everywhere, you know?
Yeah, but you probably had a more fun time just shitting with the diarrhea than
don't worry, I'm gonna get you back, motherfucker. I'm gonna get you back. But yeah, that's another day. Yeah.
Don't forget, there is a sequel to that. So
I'm not gonna see that shit.
All right, and then the following week, Wormboy's fiance graduated. So congratulations to her.
Yeah, she graduated. So now she'll be moving on up. You know,
and
how it is.
Yeah, and then
big congratulations.
Yeah.
And then today, we were experiencing technical difficulties.
Yeah, thanks to my crap laptop. I thought it was, it's new as fucking up.
It's probably Skynet.
I thought at first, like, maybe there's something wrong with Toots, because it was only on his side.
Yeah.
And he started freaking out.
I was like, nothing's possessing me.
Yeah. We took care of the technical difficulties.
Yeah, it was just
there's no entity in here with
it was just shitty Windows.
Yeah, shitty Windows 10.
You know what we didn't talk about though?
What?
Because we didn't do a recording after we went to South Texas Comic Con, or
no, we didn't.
We haven't done a recording.
We haven't done. We can do one, or we can briefly talk about how was it over there, Damien?
Weren't you there also?
I was there, but he got more pictures with like Predator, and I think there was a couple of Freddy's there too.
Yeah,
you got some pictures with them too, no?
Well, I mainly went because one of my childhood and adolescent heroes, Sting, was there, the wrestler. So I got to meet and greet with him and take a picture with him, which was just fucking awesome. So that was one of those scratch off the bucket list things. But there was there was this one kid that had this awesome xenomorph costume.
Oh, I saw that.
And you saw it, right?
Awesome.
And the other one that was really good was this other kid had a Batman costume, and then there was this guy that there was some guy there that had a Harvey Two-Face costume that the makeup looked awesome, like the side of his face that's all burned.
I didn't see that one.
No, I saw a picture of it.
Well, we can put a picture. We can put a picture on our new Facebook that Wormboy developed for us.
Facebook. We have a Facebook page now, so follow us there. Three Dudes of Horror. Again, we're gonna try to continue that.
But the guy told me, like, whoever you are out there, man, if you happen to listen, like, he said that he was a dedicated geek, that he got up at 4 a.m. to start doing that makeup, and
Jesus,
it looked awesome. So
that's dedication.
Yeah, and you went, Wormboy, for a day.
Yeah, I went for I think it was Saturday. I went with Damien.
Oh, okay.
But
no,
he kind of went on his own, because like he was like, "Oh my God, Sting!" And I was like, yeah. You know how that is on his. I'm not gonna get into detail, but yeah, I would do the same thing too.
Oh, and then I met John Schnepp also, who's one of the directors of Metalocalypse, and he's one of the writers of the Slayer comics.
Oh wow!
I was like, because I was mainly going for Sting. I've never been to a Comic Con before. That was my first Comic Con. It was loads of fun. And then I saw that he was going to be there. I was like, oh man, I gotta have to go and like introduce myself to this guy. And I couldn't help myself. I mentioned us. I had to mention to him that we do our own podcast, and we're still like learning as we go. So.
And what did he say?
No, he was a super nice guy, man. He was like, he even asked me. He was like, well, what's y'all's name? Like, do y'all got a channel on YouTube and all this stuff? Yeah. And he was like, I got to take a picture with him. I bought one of the Slayer comics.
Yeah, I saw it and he signed it, right?
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
The Slayer comics are badass. Like, I already read it and it's awesome. I want to try to get the rest of them.
Yeah, and I managed to get a little mini poster of Ash versus all the horror villains. Mm-hmm. And it's pretty cool. Well, we have it on our Facebook page already. So if you get a chance, visit that. And I don't know if you guys want to address the comments we had, or do you want to do it afterwards? After this podcast?
Yeah, we could probably do it afterwards.
All right. Well.
Or at least.
Well, I will say I appreciate that they're all kind comments. Like they're all constructive. We haven't gotten slammed by any trolls yet, which I'm sure might happen.
Troll 2, you mean? Oh my god.
Segue.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Why don't we kick it into Toots, our host, Toots.
Yeah. You guys are hosts too.
Well, actually, we're all hosts. I was about to say that. But Toots, kick us off.
What's our topic? Our specific topic of discussion for tonight.
All right. So our topic tonight is best sequels / prequels, in our opinion. That's the caveat right there. There could be some.
There's some people out there gonna be like, man, this is my best sequel. But I'll be like, what the fuck's wrong with you? You know?
No, I mean
like Troll 2, you mean?
Yeah.
But that's the point. Like, you know, go ahead and comment. Like, what's your favorite sequels, prequels, whatever.
Yeah.
This is ours, and then give us your feedback.
Yeah, because I was torn in terms of should we actually do kind of an objective way to approach it, where it's like, okay, best in terms of cinematography, acting, the story, how it progresses, or just best sequels and prequels, just in our opinions.
I think in our opinions, it's better.
That could be that could be pieces of shit, but we still get a kick out of them.
Yeah. Which ones do you think are some?
Okay, so for instance, I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off with Friday the 13th, the movies, and the ones I got a kick out of were 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And I know 8
basically.
You should have just said. He should have just said all of them besides Jason X.
Yeah.
No, well, part 3 was it was okay. Part 3 was alright.
Part 3 was the 3D
5,
gimmick.
It was Friday the 13th, A New Beginning.
Yeah.
I thought that one was okay. It wasn't as I didn't think that one was as good as the other movies. And yes, I understand Part 8 has a reputation for being a piece of shit. But I still love that piece of shit.
For the record, that's Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a piece of shit. I agree with that.
But it's awesomely bad, as we mentioned before.
Yeah, it's bad. It's good.
Yeah, whenever Jason gets to teleport, and drown some older gentleman in an oil drum full of God knows what was in it.
Nah, God, it could.
It looked like toxic waste, but I'm sure that wasn't that.
Well, with Friday the 13th, I love the first one. I always I know some critics say well, it's actually not a very good movie, but I love the first one. But as far as sequels, I like Part 2. One of my favorites is actually far down. It's Part 7 with I don't know, Toots, you can correct me if I'm the first one.
The New Blood.
The very first one where Kane Hodder dons the mask.
Yeah, that
one's
one's
Jason, and then it's got the telekinetic girl.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorites.
I like that one. That one's really good. And that's where you actually start seeing Jason, and when you actually do see him kind of rotten, and because in Part 6, at the end of Part 6, he ends up with a rock attached to his neck by a chain,
right?
And that so he gets waterlogged down there, and I wouldn't say he drowns because he comes back. So.
He always comes back.
Yeah.
And then Freddy vs. Jason is just a guilty pleasure of mine. I don't know if that counts as a sequel. It's more like a hybrid.
Yeah.
Freddy vs. Jason.
It's more of a hybrid of Nightmare and Friday the 13th.
That's.
But that's one of my.
It's not a sequel. It's not a sequel. It's more.
It's like a hybrid of the two franchises.
Yeah. It's more like a. not a reboot, I guess.
No, it's just a hybrid.
I guess you'd call it. I guess it would kind of fall into
it's a mashup.
Into a mashup or a spin-off to a certain extent.
Yeah.
It started the Versus thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it gets into Alien versus Predator, which we'll get into next time.
Yeah.
What we've talked about already.
Oh yeah, but
yeah.
but we haven't spoken about part 2. But that'll be for next week.
Well, actually, I'm looking forward to the new Predators sequel that's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
I've been reading stuff online that Key guy comes out that it's gonna have it's gonna kind of like go where the Predators sequel is going,
mm-hmm.
where there's 2 different species of predator that are very similar, and and then they're battling like a blood feud.
Mm-hmm.
But in this new one, that by the way is gonna be directed by the guy that played Hawkins in the very original Predator, Shane Black,
mm-hmm.
and the one of the groups of aliens is going to be like genetically enhanced somehow.
Yeah,
and they're like hunting the ones that are just all natural predators.
Yeah.
So that's down the road. That's down the road. That's not going to come out for a while. I don't think until 2018. But when we're talking about sequels, I'm going to throw that in as something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you mentioned Predators. So Predators are like.
Well, before we move on, I just like to mention real quick.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. The video game comes out, the new one, next Friday. So I'm looking forward to that. And I'll probably do a review myself if you guys want to play it with me.
I'll check it out.
Have you heard anything new about the game?
Nothing new. It's just it looks pretty brutal, the killings, and now of course they added a few more things, but it comes out next Friday. I wish it would come out on Friday the 13th. That would have been awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're not gonna have one until October. So.
Yeah, and it would have been awesome until October, but they're already.
Can Jason teleport in this one?
Yeah, he can teleport. Yeah, and he can he gets the power from, of course, the mom.
Yeah.
Like, oh yes, Jason, do this, go kill them. And
I hope they make him look like the Kane Hodder Jason in the game.
Yeah.
Like how you were saying.
Well, I think he looks like that.
Yeah, like that very rotten, decaying look to it.
Yeah, well, I just like to say that, but I'm looking forward to it.
I'll play that game. I'll check it out.
I'm not much of a gamer. I'll watch you guys playing it.
So you can.
So I can have some kind of input on the review.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it next week. So yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah. So Damien mentioned Predators. So I'm thinking Predators and Predator 2. Even though Predators came out later, but those are 2 sequels. I really like part 2. To me, it wasn't as good as the first one, but I still liked it very much.
It's a fun popcorn movie.
Yeah,
the whole gang rivalry, and there's record-breaking heat. It takes place in LA, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
And it's a record-breaking heat that day, and
they start dying. Or start killing them.
Yeah, correct us if we're wrong, folks.
Yeah. And it has one of the greatest Easter eggs ever with the xenomorph skull in the
ship.
Predator ship at the end when Danny Glover discovers the room of all the trophies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this one had this one the killings were a little more or less brutal because it was
Yeah, they probably didn't want to do it as bad as part 1 because somebody complained.
Oh no! I think they were a little more brutal than the first one.
Oh,
yeah. Now AVP, on the other hand, that one they kind of pussied out on that one, but they neutered that one. But we'll get to that later. But Predator 2, I really like Predators. I thought Adrian Brody was okay. I didn't mind him in the movie. Because for a character like that, you would expect somebody like a little bigger. Yeah.
Dude, he for the muscle that he had in that movie, he had to work really hard for that. Because he's naturally a very frail guy.
Yeah, but I'm not knocking his acting. He was I still liked him in the movie.
Mm-hmm. You're talking more about his physique.
Yeah, I could have pictured somebody a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
He played wasn't his character like the? I loved the concept though, how the aliens got like all the worst killers on Earth, like they had the Yakuza assassin guy and the RUF guy and
the serial killer.
Yeah, and Danny Trejo's like a Zetas cartel enforcer, and the only thing that ticked me off about the movie was that Danny Trejo was the first one that died.
Yeah,
I was like, really, Danny Trejo? Like, that's like he's like one of the best actors in that group. Like, and he's the first one that dies.
Yeah, that's the only.
I was kind of like, that's kind of a bummer, but okay, I'll go with it.
Yeah, but it was a really good concept. It was.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like the concept was awesome. Like, and then in part 2, I liked the whole like government. Not conspiracy, but like how Gary Busey's character was actually tracking the predator, and they had actually figured out a way to trap him, and they had like those suits that concealed their body temperature, and they were going to try to kill were they going to try to kill the predator, or they were going to try to like capture it and study it?
I don't remember.
I think they wanted to study it.
Yeah. And then
but then you know what happened there.
Yeah, and I just like that whole scene where the predator is just kind of switching visual modes. Yeah. You know, and then you just hear him, like, isn't it? Like, oh, there are the lights.
I always liked that about the Predator movies, though. Like, where Adrian Brody at the end of Predators copies the idea that he got from the sniper chick about how Arnold covers himself in mud. So he does that. But then the Predator can switch to that one vision where he can see his heartbeat behind the tree where he's hiding, and then he like figures out like he doesn't hear the Predator looking anymore. He's like, oh shit! He has to jump out of the way.
Yeah. But I like those, and yeah, I think in terms of Predators, those were the only two good like sequels in terms of that whole franchise.
Well, that new one, I'm intrigued, man. I want to see the new one.
Yeah, me too.
Out. And it's like
I want to check it out too.
It's like Shane Black's going full circle. Like he was the very first one to die in the very first Predator. Like he was the very first one killed by the Predator, and now he's directing the new one.
Yeah,
the new sequel.
It's almost like, hey, motherfucker, you killed me off.
Which will be the 4th installment in the Predator franchise, not counting AVP.
Yeah, it would be the 4th one.
Yeah,
because it's 1, 2 Predators and this one.
I'm also looking forward to the Alien one, the new one.
Yeah,
I actually saw it yesterday. I actually saw it.
Oh,
sorry,
you
guys.
Fucking asshole. Oh, thanks for the invite.
Whoa, real quick, what were your thoughts on it? Alien Covenant.
I really liked it. It made up for Prometheus because I wasn't a big fan of Prometheus.
Prometheus, alright. There was
okay.
There was lack of, I don't know, creativeness, I guess. I don't know.
No, I think for me, what I didn't like about Prometheus was, I don't know, I think the characters, it wasn't the acting or anything. The acting was really good. It was just more the characters themselves. They had certain qualities. I was just like, I don't like these people. Yeah. You know, the only one I really liked from Prometheus was the droid. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, like he was the only character I liked.
Michael Fassbender.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good actor though.
Oh well, I've only seen Prometheus once. I need to watch it again, and
it's a long ass movie, dude.
Yeah, I want to see Covenant, but Covenant takes place between Prometheus and the very first Alien movie, right? The Ridley Scott Alien.
Yeah, it actually takes place 10 years after the whole thing goes down with Prometheus.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to spoil or anything.
Yeah.
No, we'll do maybe a review later on that one.
Yeah, but I think it's worth watching in the movies. I really got a kick out of it.
I'll go maybe check it out.
Yeah. Well, with Aliens, the Alien franchise, my favorite sequel is, I've said it already, Aliens.
Yeah.
Part 2. That's my favorite sequel.
Yeah, and because out of this franchise, not including AVP. I think Aliens and Alien Covenant were probably the only good sequels. Aliens more so.
Yeah.
But Alien 3 was meh. And Alien Resurrection just blew ass, and we'll get to that next time.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of the best sequels, I would say Aliens and then Alien Covenant, right underneath. But like I said, I really want to talk about it, but no, I'll wait for
I'll
wait until you guys watch it.
Today's sequel.
Yeah, it's got to be spoiler free for now.
Yeah.
And I thought Danny McBride did.
Daddy McBride? Did you say?
I said Danny. I said Danny McBride.
Someone needs coffee.
No, that's what I've been hearing. I've been hearing that he's actually surprisingly really good.
Yeah, because the one thing I kept thinking of is he's gonna be the big ass titties. Yeah,
because he's known for comedy.
Yeah,
and then he comes out in this.
And I thought he was gonna be like the very obnoxious. Oh, you kind of like in what was that? Southbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down.
Eastbound and Down. Yeah. Something like that, where he's kind of like the obnoxious asshole, but he's funny, and that's what I was expecting. But no, he actually played it pretty straight. There were a couple of scenes where he did kind of crack like
a joke here and there.
Yeah, but he wasn't just the comic relief all the way. Like
that's good. That's good. That's good.
I was surprised.
I want to see that movie because
and I said Danny McBride. Stop hearing what you want to hear.
Yeah. Sure, toots.
All right.
You gotta do your George Romero zombie.
Oh yeah,
stuff to
my fix. Yeah, now my favorite sequels, I guess, out of all the Romero ones, has to be, and of course it's classic, it's cliche at this point, is Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, the original Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead.
I agree.
And it's. Looking back at Dawn of the Dead now, it is a bit campy. I mean, it is campy to a certain extent.
It also depends when you saw it.
But it is a great movie in terms of just, sitting down and watching all the killings and of course, I think if I remember correctly, this was Romero was trying to do kind of like a commentary on like consumerism and shopping and
The part that always made me laugh when I would watch it when I was a kid in high school was they have semi trucks like parked in front of the doors, right? So the zombies can't get in and they're jumping through the cabs. And that one guy gets too cocky and he gets bit like on his ankle or something. And then they're like driving around in the mall like in a car, right, with the guy in the front or something. The one that got bit because he can't walk anymore.
Yeah, he's actually in the back.
Yeah,
and he's shooting.
That part always cracked me up. I was like, this guy's just like, he knows he's gonna turn, so he's just like using his last moments as a person to
help.
Yeah, but the part that's always creepy is the
Harry Krishna zombie.
No, well, yeah. When is he talking about when the elevator opens?
Oh, when Flyboy Steven like is already a zombie,
and he comes walking out.
Oh,
that's creepy. And then at the very end, when I can never remember the actor's name, he comes out in Lords of Salem, and he's the minister, the televangelist in the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Oh, Ken Foree,
yeah, where he's gonna commit suicide. And then at the last minute, he changes his mind when all the zombies they're already like in the room where he's at, and he runs out and he runs up to the helicopter. That part always creeped me out. I don't know, like how he just decided at the last minute that he wasn't gonna do it.
And I think originally Romero wanted him to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the lady's name. I remember her real name. I just can't remember the character's name. Fran. Yeah, Fran. And Franny, like Francine.
Yeah.
And that originally she was gonna go into the helicopter, but I think she either jumps and gets her head cut off, or she just waits until the zombies come and eat her. But it was supposed to be a downer ending, and then Romero changed it and was like the first one was already had a downer ending. Let's do one where like the heroes win,
Y'all are gonna roast me a little bit right now for saying this, but I like Land of the Dead.
Oh God!
I didn't. I like Land of the Dead.
Why?
I don't know. I like it. I don't know. I liked the whole concept of how they're raiding small towns, like, and they're the humans are the villains. Like they're seen as like pirates, like, and I loved the whole thing about it was so creepy about the fireworks. How they would shoot the fireworks up, and the zombies are all like mesmerized, and And that's how they would get around them, and like they were going into pharmacies and like getting medication and jacking food and stuff.
Yeah, it was like they were showing tits to them. And
I liked I like Land of the Dead. I like Diary of the Dead, but to me, Dawn and Day are the best. Like out of all of them, they're the best sequels in terms of the Romero movies.
My favorite one is Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah, but yeah, and Day of the Dead, I just like I like some of the overacting in that, and the fact that Bub starts getting smarter. Yeah,
Bub.
Yeah, and I like the whole conflict between the scientists and the soldiers.
I need to watch Day of the Dead again. I remember renting it a long time ago and watching it like start to finish, but I didn't really get because Romero's always making some kind of political statement or something. Yeah. I didn't get that for Day of the Dead. Like, what was the statement that he was making?
I'm trying to remember what it was.
I need to watch it again.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it had to do with. I don't want to say anything because I'm not 100% sure. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah.
The only things I really remember from that movie, other than Bub, is Captain Rhodes, because he's a badass, and he's the villain, but he's a badass. Yeah. Because he will shout your ear off before he shoots you.
Well, to mention more current sequels that there's actually been a lot of good horror movies coming out lately, man. Even studio horror, like, because usually it's the independent horror.
Yeah.
But The Conjuring, The Conjuring Part 2.
Yeah, those are awesome.
That movie, yeah. Like, some people think there's too much of they focus on like the relationship of the Warrens, and there's too much like lovey-dovey stuff. But I liked the movie.
But that's what makes the story good.
Yeah, that's what makes you care about the characters.
Yeah, you care about the character. Well, it's weird calling them characters because they are based on real people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you could call it character in terms of the movie itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what makes you care about the.
And that's what scares me even more when I watch them, because those are like up there with The Exorcist, because The Exorcist to me is the worst, like in regards to fear, and then Conjuring is like right up there, at least for me.
Yeah.
And that's the reason I like Conjuring too, because it fucking scares the shit out of me.
Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson's acting, and then of course James Wan's directing.
Yeah.
And all the creepy stuff is back, just like the first Conjuring. Like how you were saying, like I totally agree. Like all of the jump scares that are in the movie are like they're not fake. Like it's stuff that you're actually.
It's not like you're expecting it. It's just like it comes out of nowhere. Where
no, but I mean, like,
I hate to put it this way, but they're not like the Wes Craven jump scares.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like it's not like
with all due respect to Wes Craven,
it's not like the person's friend or something all of a sudden jumping into the frame like, hey. It's actually something that you're supposed to be scared of.
Yeah, and it wasn't just him. It was like, I know what you did last summer and things like that. Where.
I still know what you did last summer.
Yeah, I super duper know what you did last summer.
Like, for real this time, I really do know what you did.
Yeah, I really remember what you did 20 years ago that summer. Yeah.
Oh, like I started it. We're going off topic.
Okay, yeah, but we digress.
The late 90s false jump scares.
Yeah, exactly. And with Conjuring 2, even with Part 1, but with Conjuring 2 is the fact that all those jump scares, and it wasn't just jump scares. There was actually suspense to them.
It's fucking creepy, dude.
Right.
Like with the nun, like when
oh fuck that.
When Lorraine was painting, or she was in that room with the
picture.
Yeah. With the picture, I can't remember if she was painting. I think she just went to look at it. But she was looking at the picture of the nun, or the portrait of the nun. Yeah. Then you start seeing.
You know what? After I saw that movie, I admit for like at least a week I would see the nun. Not for real, but like in my dreams. It scared the shit out of me.
The nun, who is also supposed to get a spin-off, just like Annabelle.
Yeah.
And then the other, like where the kid was wheeling his little toy truck into his tent, and it would come back out.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, there was suspense building to the jump scares.
Yeah, because you didn't know what to expect, and the fact that they didn't show anything, but you did hear that rah, like that. Yeah, imagine that happening.
And then that's what keeps your imagination, like, what could it be?
Like you're expecting something to jump out, but the fact that you just hear that roar. That roar.
Yeah, like James Wan, James Wan is on his way to being one of the next, like, Wes Craven, one of the next John Carpenters, like one of the next great horror directors. Like, he's establishing himself big time.
Yeah, and but yeah, Conjuring 2 is really good. And kind of in that same vein, there's Insidious 2 and Insidious 3, which is a prequel.
Right. Who James Wan also directed. Insidious 1 and 2.
Those are good.
Did he direct part 3 also?
No.
No.
I know he had a hand in writing it, but part 3 was a different. But it was still good.
Yeah, I haven't seen part 2. I've seen bits and pieces of part 1. I haven't seen part 2, but we've seen part 3.
Well, part 2 is just an expansion on the.
Part 2 is the twins, no?
Well, it's an expansion of the story of the first movie. Like, they throw all these different. They just expand on the characters, like, in ways that you would. I can't spoil it because Toots hasn't seen it, but
no, go ahead.
They expand on.
He made me watch House of the Dead.
House of the Dead.
So. Hey, it's not my fault you got sick from that. It's not my fault you got sick from that fucking movie.
No, but I mean, it's
not my fault you couldn't stomach it.
They take some of the characters in routes that you just would never expect, having only seen the first one, but it's still good.
Yeah.
Like, and then part 3 was the prequel, but it was still good, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, because it's once you start getting to like part 3 in a horror franchise, it's like. Or even sometimes the second one, it's already kind of like, oh no.
Yeah, it loses its luster after.
But not that one. Like, I'm still looking forward to it. Supposedly they're going to make Insidious 4, and I'm there, man.
They are, dude.
Yeah, and there is another sequel I want to bring up because I don't think we've mentioned it since.
Which one?
Since the podcast began, and it's Creepshow 2.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Hold on, let me do it real quick.
All right.
Thanks for the ride, lady.
Yeah.
My brother and I used to always say that over and over again when we saw that when we were kids. It's like he keeps showing up more and more, like.
Yeah, just more fucked up.
Yeah, and then when she rams him like a bunch of times with the car.
Yeah.
And then he's still there. Thanks for the ride, lady. That's my favorite skit in Creepshow 2.
And the funny thing is that, like, I saw it when I was a kid, when it first came out on cable, and like VHS. Like I remember seeing it at that time, and I remember especially with that because there were 3 stories. Whoever hasn't seen it, there were 3 stories in it. It's Old Chief Woodenhead, which is about the. No, for real, that's the name.
Well, I hadn't seen it, so I'm laughing.
It's Old Chief Woodenhead, where it takes place, I guess, in a Native American reservation, and there's a general store.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it has the wooden. Yeah. It has the wooden Indian in the front.
Where he comes to life and scalps people.
Yeah. Yeah. It actually axes one of them because there were 3 hoodlums, and axes one of them, shoots one of them with arrows, the fat one with arrows, and then it's true, it was fat. And then with that last guy, with the leader, I guess you could say, like, he scalps him, yeah. And of course it's cheesy, but it's really fun. And then the second one, called The Raft, is about these college kids or teenagers.
That one's creepy, man.
Mm-hmm, with the oil slick, that blob thing that's in the water in the lake.
It's creepy when it's down to the last 2 and the guy dumps the girl on top of it. To swim for shore.
Well, he didn't dump her. He didn't dump her like.
Wasn't he holding her up and he kind of just?
No, she was lying down, and because the raft has all those cracks.
Right, and it started.
Yeah, it started essentially dissolving her face, and then when the last guy was like, "Well, shit, what do I do?" He's like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna swim for it."
And then isn't he he's on the shore like, I beat you, and then
and this
it just jumps out on him.
Yeah, and then the third one is the hitchhiker, which of course thanks for the ride, lady.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
And I remember when I saw it, especially with that hitchhiker one, I'm just like it was an accident. Why is he going after her? And then I watched it when I was much older, And then I realized, oh, the lady was having an affair and this and that, and I'm like, you know what, she deserves that. Yeah, she deserves that hitchhiker going after her.
It was kind of, it had like the Tales from the Crypt, like that concept of like, you know, reaping what you sow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually there was supposed to be another story to it, but due to budget constraints, like they couldn't do it. And from what I've read, it was actually a story where it was like it takes place like in a bowling alley, and there were these two groups, I guess like two like bowling league like teams, and one of them were like the fun-loving slobs, you know, like
what the fuck?
You know, kind of like the Big Lebowski almost kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And then you had the other team that just wanted to win and would do anything to win, and they were a little more pompous and you know. And then this old guy that would bowl there his entire life, at some point he's like, you know what, like I've been here a lot of years, this and that. We're gonna have a, you know, whoever wins this tournament is gonna win this much money or whatever. And then mid bowling, he has a heart attack and the fucking the ball drags him because he's a frail old man, and then drags him to like the machinery, and of course the machinery
kills him.
Yeah. Oh no, he was probably dead by that point, so it wouldn't matter
because of the heart attack.
Yeah.
They just didn't. They never got around to it because of budget restraints.
Yeah, and then it was like whoever wins the tournament wins this much money, and the evil team, I guess you can call it the heel team, was like, you know what, let's take these slobs out. So they hijack their brake, like they sabotage their brakes or something like that. Jesus. And that one is more Tales from the Crypt because the slobs, come back from the dead.
Yeah.
They kill the heel team, and then they actually use their parts as like a bowling. You know, like they use their limbs like for bowling pins and their heads.
Maybe one day if they make Creepshow 4, that'll come to fruition.
Yeah.
They'll actually make that one.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, that sounded so cheesy yet good. It's like I wish they had the money to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So any other sequels, prequels?
Well, just real quick, we'll mention, since we're talking about like current, I wanted to just mention Ouija Origin of Evil real quick.
Okay.
Since it's a prequel technically, because it's like the events prior to the first Ouija, which was awful.
Yeah.
But it's really kick-ass, man. Like,
and I haven't seen it, but you've told me about it.
It's good, man. It takes place like in the 60s, and the way they recreate like the 60s vibe, even the opening credits, and it's Mike Flanagan, the director.
Oh.
He made Hush, the Netflix movie, and Oculus.
I've seen Oculus.
Yeah, well, it's the same director.
I like that one.
So they got him to do the sequel or prequel. And the directing's good. There's no jump scares, you know.
It's all suspense. And
there's good acting. There's a better story, like because it's like they kind of had a good story in the first movie, but they didn't. I don't know. They just didn't know what to do with it in the first movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one either.
Yeah, and that one's on Netflix or.
I don't think so. Well, Mike Flanagan's other movie, Hush, is on Netflix.
That one good?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I haven't seen
good.
that one either.
That one's good. Oculus is good.
I gotta check it out.
They nailed it with this one, man. Like if you haven't seen Ouija Origin of Evil, watch it. And you don't really need to watch the first one because Origin of Evil is a prequel.
But what's the series about? Like just these kids that find a Ouija and they're just Ouija board and
Ouija board and skateboard.
No, honestly, like the first movie, it's basically like it's a bunch of teenagers playing with a Ouija board, and it's like, and they're talking about considering playing with it again, and then like they introduce like I don't know. It's just not it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Like when by the time you get to the end of the movie, it doesn't make sense. So, yeah, Origin of Evil.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. I mean,
no, it's good. It's good.
I've dabbled with it for a few times with the actual Ouija board, and
I would never do that.
I don't do it.
I've seen way too many, a haunting like TV shows and. And ghost shows like that and heard too many stories online. Like, you know, and I'm not gonna mess with that. So Ouija Origin of You. I mean, I still want to check it out.
Oh, it's
at
good,
some point.
man. It's good director.
I don't know
good
why I
acting.
just thought of this is like. No, never mind. It's a joke. Squeegee. Origin of Evil. There's this guy that squeegees your like a homeless dude that squeegees your car and then ends up killing you with it.
Talk about Saw 2.
Oh, Saw 2.
Yeah. It's not like, quite as current, but it's, you know, relatively.
Yeah. Now with Saw, I haven't seen all the Saw movies. I've only seen up to 3. And I thought 3 was okay. I think at that point it was already kind of losing its luster for me.
Yeah. And they could have done so much better, I think.
And then but with part 2 I really liked because they kind of stepped it up a notch with all those people and like more characters, and of course there were some that were more despicable than others. Mm-hmm. So yeah, please shove them down into that pit of used needles.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never really got into the Saw franchise. I mean, now they're at 12 or 50?
I think they have like 26 sequels or something like that.
Well, I liked the part 2 was where they kind of revealed that like Shawnee Smith's character had like joined the ranks of Jigsaw. Mm-hmm. Like she was actually working for him.
Yeah.
Like.
And I remember with the one scene I'll always remember because I mean I do like the movie, but the one that really stands out is the one where she falls into that pit of used needles.
Oh, the guy.
Everyone is.
The guy throws her in there.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that was supposed to go in there because he was like the drug dealer. Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of syringes in there.
Yeah.
And he was supposed to go in there to find like the one that's got some. It was the one special one. It was like the needle in the haystack concept.
An antidote or something.
Yeah. And then he throws her in there instead because, like you said, he's like a totally despicable character.
Yeah, and I remember everybody was just like, "Oh my god!"
But that made you that scene made you have more sympathy for her character, and then it turns out at the end that she was actually working for Jigsaw the whole time.
Fuck that bitch.
No, but I think once she turned and.
But it makes the twist that much more impactful. Yeah. You know, because you're thinking like, oh, you have more sympathy for her.
Yeah, and then But once she actually reveals herself, like her true colors, I'm just like, well, yeah, you know, she got treated like shit, you know, that whole time. Like, yeah, fuck it, she deserves this. Yeah. All right, and let's see another recent one that I actually got a kick out of was Blair Witch.
Really?
From last year, I thought it was good.
I thought it was okay.
It wasn't as good as the first, but it was a whole lot better than part 2.
Yeah. Book of Shadows, that'll be for when we do the worst sequels.
Yeah.
Like, no, I mean that was Adam Wingard was the director. Mm-hmm. He did like You're Next, and I know he's done another good horror movie also. Yeah. So like the ending sequence of the movie where they find the house, that was pretty intense. Yeah. Like I thought it was good, but my favorite part, I think I've explained it already though on another podcast, was how they reveal like the real reason why people face the wall, because they're making the choice to do that because they don't want to look at the witch. Yeah, like that part tripped me out.
If they do make a sequel, from this movie, they make another sequel like in the series. I really hope they never reveal the witch itself. You know, I really hope that it does kind of, you know, I really hope that it's just like a mystery, you know, like you still kind of don't know what it is.
Well, in Blair Witch, you got that one little shot of her real fast, like behind the tree, but it was like a teaser. Like,
yeah, exactly, but you don't see her like full-fledged,
I don't think they ever will because that's the whole thing.
That's the whole thing with that movie.
That's what draws in the
crowds.
The crowds, like, If they ever reveal her, there'll be no more mystique. So. Yeah.
No, and then they'll do a spin-off of her and then call it The Witch. Wait, they already did one called The Witch. It's a good movie, though.
Well,
I like that movie.
We could mention that, but it's sequels we're doing right now.
Yeah. Okay, now this one I haven't seen. I heard it's really good. I know you've seen it, Damien.
Which one?
Split.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Actually, no. Matter of fact, I finally bought that Blu-ray today, a little earlier this afternoon.
Yeah.
And then the thing is, like, I didn't even know that it was a sequel to Unbreakable. Yeah. Like, I just went in the
catches you off guard, right?
Yeah, because the thing is, you start hearing the score from Unbreakable at the very end, but I don't want to
Yeah,
I can't say any spoilers.
But it's a good movie. You should watch it.
But you already knew that.
You can borrow it from
I knew that it was a sequel because everyone kept mentioning it.
Yeah.
But
I don't mean like you guys. I mean like just everybody on
the
Facebook.
whole movie is its own movie all the way up to maybe the last 10, 15 minutes because you don't find out that it's in it might not even qualify as a sequel. It's just they reveal that it's in the Unbreakable universe.
Okay.
I think it's a sequel.
But yeah, I mean in a way it is because it's in the universe, and it takes place after
So it's not like a spin-off or anything like that?
No. It's
in the same universe.
It's in the same universe.
Oh, okay.
They kind of set it up to because actually, like, M. Night Shyamalan's gonna do at least a trilogy.
Another one.
A trilogy in the Unbreakable universe because he's gonna make the third one's gonna be called Glass, and Samuel L. Jackson's gonna come back as Mr. Glass, and they're gonna have it's gonna have Bruce Willis as David Dunn, and of course Samuel L. Jackson as Mr. Glass, and then James McAvoy is going to come back as his character from Split, and then I think they're setting up the Anya Taylor-Joy character from Split as like possibly another superhero character like Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
So who also came out in that movie The Witch that Wormboy was talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's a
and
good
she
movie.
did awesome in both movies.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, a spin-off could still technically be in the same universes.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but this isn't a spin-off though.
Oh, okay.
It's part of the Unbreakable universe. Like,
it's part of the. It's because you have to see it, and then you'll understand.
You have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's not a spin-off.
No. You have to watch it. Yeah.
All right, I'll watch it. I'll watch it and Split because I still need to see that. Split and. What do you call it? I was thinking of another movie, but never mind. And then Ruben will see House of the Dead Part 2. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You can take off that look of horror on your face.
You gotta mention, like if we're doing best horror sequels,
Nightmare. Yeah.
It would be sacrilege to not mention Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness.
Oh yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But with Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness, I mean, you've seen those two, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't remember everything from it, but I always liked them.
Groovy.
They're funny. They're funny to me.
I just love that whole scene where Ash just goes apeshit crazy in part 2. Yeah, that one, like, it's one of those sequels that at first it does look pretty scary and then it just becomes cheesy after a while.
Yeah.
And then with Army of Darkness, like, it just full blown like action cheese horror.
Well, it's because the original Evil Dead was like just a straight horror movie, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and they went for horror comedy, but that's the weird thing though, because Evil Dead 2 is not like a sequel, really, right? It's like it's kind of like a retelling of the same story, like, but it's horror comedy.
Yeah, it's one of those instances, kind of like Insidious 3, where it's a prequel, yet it's the third installment in the series. Yeah. So this one would be, the second installment, but it's also like a reimagining.
And where Ash rebuilds the chainsaw so he could put it on his arm.
Yeah. I
love that sequence.
Yeah.
And the way that they do the cuts, like, and the little pose and all that stuff, like, groovy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's classic. That's a classic scene. And then Army of Darkness, when he starts battling his evil self, and
yeah. Well, Army of Darkness, the whole movie is just awesome.
Yeah.
And as I said, and I guess I'll just announce it on this episode, like, Bruce Campbell and the character of Ash always get a pass on our podcast. Mm-hmm. No matter what the topic. Like, Bruce Campbell and the character of Ash always get a pass.
Yeah. And Wormboy did mention Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
And I did like part 2. It was darker. It wasn't as good as the first one, but my top favorites out of the series is 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, to
part
me
3 particular.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that one, I don't know, it's just everything just came out, everything just kind of fell together in place.
Yeah.
Because you had characters that were likable, you got to relate to them to a certain extent. Like the Wizard Master. I played D&D, so yeah.
He was clearly the D&D hero for all the D&D players in the 80s.
Yeah, and
but that's the sequel that made the most money, right? Dream Warriors.
I'm not sure.
I think it was.
Isn't that one of your favorites?
Yeah, it is. It is one of my favorite sequels. I don't know. Well, I mean, like I said, with that sequel, I mean, I didn't mind it. It wasn't as good as the first one, but to me, 3 and 4 are like my favorites.
The Dream Master.
Dream Warriors and Dream Master.
I love that.
Part 5 was that's when it starts to kind of.
The soundtrack is awesome.
It's just it is a great fucking soundtrack, and
for some reason I like Freddy's Dead.
I did like Freddy's Dead also.
That one's where the campy, like and Freddy like
Roseanne and Tom Arnold.
Yeah, that's when that was at that point in the franchise that was already like full throttle, but I still liked that one for some reason. I don't know.
I liked it also. I liked it also. Part 5. That's when it starts to get really just kind of over the hill.
Dream Child and all that.
Yeah, the Dream Child.
Nah.
And then we can get into like Freddy versus Jason again.
Excuse me, guys.
Yeah, Worm Boy.
Edit that out later.
Yeah.
But I'm
it's creepy. What are you looking at, Worm Boy?
I'm sorry. Your shirt looks creepy as fuck.
Yeah, because it's Tim Curry.
No, but the way it was moving, it looked like his mouth was moving.
It's because I'm fat and I jiggle quite a bit.
Well, now you have to explain because.
Well, Toots is wearing this It shirt, and when he was like kind of laying back on the chair, the shirt was wrinkled and it looked like the mouth was moving. I was like, "What the fuck's going on here? That's fucked up." Yeah, sorry. Sorry, I just had to mention that.
Worm Boy, you gotta lay off them drugs.
Well, you went to Nightmare on Elm Street. So while we're sticking with the classics, let's jump to Halloween.
Like oh god, yeah,
best sequels.
I think that's one of my favorite ones.
The best sequels only, though.
All right, in our opinion, and
definitely my favorite is Halloween Resurrection.
Why?
I will judge you afterwards.
Like, no, I'm just
we don't have time for that. For real? You're just messing
No, absolutely not. I'm just messing around.
You look pretty serious.
That's for next week.
It's okay, David.
If it's your favorite, you can say it's your favorite.
We won't judge you right now in the podcast. But once it's off, we'll judge you.
Yeah, we'll judge you behind your back.
That's for next week for the worst sequels. Definitely.
Like for instance, like I like part 2. And I'll have to admit, I like part 3, and you can judge me. I don't give a shit. Even though I know that part 3 is not as good as the other, Michael Myers movies.
That movie probably would have been a lot better if every 10 minutes you didn't have to listen to that Happy Halloween. What was the theme song? What was the company that?
Oh, Silver Shamrock.
Yeah, the Silver Shamrock theme song.
Yeah, it's it almost comes to the point where it almost becomes a drinking game, where it's like every time the song comes out, like you take a shot.
Yeah, that might make that movie better.
The only thing that kind of shits on part 3 is the fact that it's part of the Halloween series. Mm-hmm. It's just because originally it was supposed to be an anthology.
Yeah,
and then they try to stray away from Michael Myers, and it didn't work
because he was actually supposed to die in part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Because part two is just essentially like a continuation of the same night of part 1.
Yeah.
And then part 3, they try to kill him off, right?
Yeah. Well, like Toots said, it was supposed to be an anthology thing. So part 3 has nothing to do with Michael Myers.
Yeah. So I could see how, if it's attached to the series, people will be like, "What the fuck is this?" But if it was its own standalone movie, like it wasn't Halloween, if it was just called Season of the Witch and that's it, then what do you call it? Then it probably would have done a lot better, and not a whole lot of people would have judged it as much.
Well, I like H2O. Like that's a fun scene. That's like a favorite of my wife and I. Like we always like to watch H2O. It had a lot of nods to like the series as a whole.
I thought it was okay.
And John Carpenter was supposed to come back to direct, but he decided not to. So
what was he doing? Ghosts of Mars?
Yeah, something like that.
He should just stay what he was doing.
All right, and I'm just gonna mention one more because we're gonna bring it up again in the worst sequels. But
which one?
I'm bringing it up in the best sequels.
Oh, I know which one.
Yeah, Troll 2.
Oh, I love that movie.
Because it is so shitty. It's awesome.
The acting is so crappy, but
it is
it's
so
funny.
Shitty. It's
so funny.
Yeah, it is so god awful and shitty that it's just awesome.
To me, it's not even scary. It's just like
so
a bunch of fucking trolls.
So if this were to actually be like a top 10, like a full-fledged top 10, I would have had this at number 1 for the best, and then I would have had it number 1 on the worst.
Because remember at the very beginning of the podcast we did say in our opinion.
Yeah, in our opinion.
Yeah, I gave that hint.
Yeah.
In our opinion, these are the best horror movie sequels.
I gave the segue too.
Yeah, so that's why I said I was kind of torn in terms of like, should we make it best sequels in terms of what everybody thinks or what the consensus is, or just in our opinion, like which ones, even though we acknowledge that a couple of these are shitty, but we still get a kick out of them and we still get enjoyment out of them.
The bologna sandwich was awesome. I still love that part. Oh, and Damien's favorite part.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I want to mention this. I don't care. We heard the 5 different languages before this.
Oh yeah.
The oh my god part. The Spanish one is the worst.
There's a video on YouTube that has that line in 5 languages.
Yeah, the one that got my attention was the Spanish one.
Do it.
Ay, Dios mío.
Se la van a comer allá y luego a mí. Ay, Dios mío. That part was funny. I don't know.
You nailed that.
And Damien does the good one in English.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Real quick before we close. Just real quick. We have to mention the Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequels.
I forgot about that.
The best being Part 2 with Dennis Hopper.
Yeah. And it's been a long time since I've actually seen this one. Last time I saw this, VHS was still in style.
Oh, I miss
so
those
that was
days, man.
So that was. It's been a while. I just remember he has a chainsaw and he's like the sheriff or something like that.
Yeah, where's your fucking face?
Well, not him, but like.
Well, yeah.
Well, like real quick, Part 3 with Viggo Mortensen, not very good. Kinda still there. Part 4, the one with Matthew McConaughey and Renee Zellweger, atrocious. And then that Texas Chainsaw 3D, the opening sequence where
I never saw that one. Is that one good?
No.
Oh.
The opening sequence where they kind of like reconstruct the ending of the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and they even like inject actual footage. Like, and Gunnar Hansen made the cameo, and the same guy that played Grandpa in the original movie played him again. That one in that opening sequence.
Yeah.
But that's the best part of the movie. It's absolute garbage after that. So the best Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel is Part 2.
Yeah.
Part 2.
I look forward to the new one.
Is a new one coming out?
You guys don't know there's a new one?
Yeah, it's gonna be an
Leatherface.
origins, like Leatherface as a teenager.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
it looks pretty cool, but I
mean, I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. So.
All right, so that's it for best sequels and prequels thus far.
Yeah, I think before we end, also the comments 2 people left. We'll address those at another podcast. One of them recommended the oh my god to be part of like the ending, I guess. But
yeah.
Well, I mean, we appreciate the comment, but we'll look into it more and You know,
we should put that one in the intro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem putting that. I'll put the Spanish one too.
And the Invasion of the Body Snatcher one also.
Yeah, I can put that one too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Thanks, Mr. Bell, for that.
Yeah.
Good
suggestion.
Yeah. But yeah, so this week, like I said, best sequels / prequels in our opinion. And next week we're gonna do what everybody's been waiting for: the worst of the sequels and prequels. We already mentioned a few today, but we're gonna get into more detail on them next week.
Yeah.
Along with, or whenever we post these videos,
because that always seems to be more fun, talking about the worst, of making a list of the worst rather than the best.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that goes in like regardless of what list you're talking about or what genre or anything, it's like you can talk about the best whatever, you know, best wrestling matches or whatever, or best, you know, whatever, you know, but everyone is looking forward to the worst ones, like just, and just shitting all over those.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to shit on that. Fuck you, Toots, for I'm not gonna let this go.
Oh, don't worry, don't worry.
Fucking dead.
Yeah, when you see part 2, yeah, you'll.
Yeah, yada yada.
All right. So this is Toots,
Damien,
Worm Boy, 3 Dudes of Horror.
Yep. See y'all later.
See y'all later.